What if the scariest thing about Michael Myers isn't the mask, but the mystery behind his mind? For decades, fans and even psychology students have tried to understand what really drives the silent killer from Halloween, and the answers are surprisingly complicated. In the film's story, Michael is just 6 years old when he brutally murders his sister, Judith. After that night, he's locked away in a psychiatric institution for 15 years. But what makes the case chilling is what happens next. He stops speaking almost entirely. When he escapes and returns to his hometown of Haddonfield, he begins stalking a quiet teenage babysitter named Laurie Strode. At first, the connection between them seems random, but in later films, like Halloween 2, a shocking twist reveals that Laurie was actually Michael's younger sister who had been adopted after their parents died. From a psychological perspective, this relationship has sparked endless debate. Some analysts suggest Michael's silence and behavior resembles severe trauma responses or extreme antisocial traits. Others argue the films intentionally avoid giving him a clear diagnosis. In fact, Michael's own psychiatrist, Dr. Samuel Lomis, famously describes him not as a patient, but as something far worse, pure evil. And that idea may actually be the point. Unlike many horror villains who have clear motives, Michael Myers is terrifying because he represents something unknowable, a force that simply watches, stalks, and waits. Even the filmmakers have changed the story multiple times. Some modern versions of the franchise even remove the sibling connection entirely, making Laurie just a random survivor of his attack. But while Michael remains an unsolved mystery, Laurie's story is very different. Many later films portray her dealing with severe trauma, paranoia, and hypervigilance after surviving the attack's reactions that psychologists say are closer to what real trauma survivors might experience. So, in a strange way, the real psychological story of Halloween isn't about the killer. It's about the survivor, and maybe that's why, more than 40 years later, the battle between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode still fascinates audiences, because one represents unstoppable darkness, and the other represents the human will to survive.